Good evening. It's wonderful to be with you once again, isn't it, Ronnie?
Indeed it is. And in a packed programme tonight, we shall be investigating allegations of slow service in the post office and finding out why the Queen now has to send telegrams to people who are only 97.
And we'll be talking to a car designer who's crossed Toyota with Quasimodo and come up with a hatchback of Notre Dame.
But first, the news. At a press conference today, excited movie executives announced that Julie Andrews will appear topless in her next movie. The film will be called Mary Pop-Outs.
It's been a bad week for Brandon Truscott, the Steeple Aston man who doesn't know the difference between fixative and laxative. His teeth have been stuck on the lavatory since last summer.
News tonight that Mr. Norman St. John Stevens has at last been able to arrange an audience with the Pope. Up until now, Norman hasn't been able to spare the time.
Rough House Row, Tower Hamlets, which is London's toughest street, held a party today for its oldest inhabitant. He'll be 23 on Monday.
Sport. At the White City tonight, a Russian athlete who cleared 18 feet in the long jump was beaten into second place during the interval by a Max Bygraves record which cleared the entire stadium.
The funeral of dustman Arnold Purge took place today at Warbleton Cemetery. Later, his ashes were scattered all the way down somebody's front path.
But now a sketch in which Mr. Ronnie Corbett will be showing us how he uses cotton wool buds for all his important little places. He'll be cleaning out his Wendy house. Morning.
Morning. You come about the musical?
I've come for a thing.
Thing? What sort of thing?
I'm going to, a thing to the director, hoping he'll like me.
Well, it's a woman, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, well, I'll have to, a thing to her then, yes. I hope I get the job. I need the money because I'm thick.
Well, jobs aren't easy these days, are they?
No, I don't get many because of my thighs.
What's the matter with them?
I'm too fat. My thighs affects the way I think.
Well, you what?
Well, thing-a-thong.
Your size. You're a singer.
I said I'm a thinger.
Oh, I agree. I think you're absolutely white.
Well, I'm nervy, see.
No, I think you're white. You're white. You are white. I agree with you about the size. It's the same with me being small. I never get to play anything wagged. I'm always a went man or a watter.
Huh? Excuse me, you can't sound your R's, can you?
No, you can't sound your S's, can you?
No. Well, some I can. When I'm not sinking. Ah, there, I found you one then.
You ought to try practicing. You ought to say something like, how many shirts can Sister Susie sew if Sister Susie's slow at sewing shirts? It's a famous riddle.
I don't go for riddles myself. I think they're soft.
No, I don't go for whittles either. If I do whittles, it's whiskey.
I don't drink myself.
No, whiskey. Whiskey. You know, too much of a whisk.
Oh, I see.
What you going to sing?
Oh, Red Sails in the Sunset.
Wed what?
Red Sails in the Sunset, way over the sea. Oh, please send my sailor home safely to me. You think that's a silly song to sing?
Oh, no, I think that would be a wow.
What do you mean, a row?
A wow. A wow, an absolute wow, a hit. Know that song? It was in a musical I was in. I had a long one in the West End with that.
You was in the West End? What's your name?
Cecil. What's yours?
Randolph.
Do you mind if I call you Wandy?
Do you mind if I call you Claude? Can't say Cecil without spitting. That all over your tooth.
Oh. Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Nice morning.
You come for the thing?
Yeah. It rang me this morning.
Excuse me, you can't sound your R's, can you?
No.
Or your S's.
No. Nor my L's, nor my W's, nor my wobble-woos.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, you're just right. Would you wait in my office? Thank you for coming, gentlemen. Perhaps another time.
But he can't say his S's.
No, or his R's.
Or his L's.
Or his W's, or his W's.
Doesn't matter. It's a non-speaking part.
What and thod.
Good evening. I've been asked by the government to talk about energy and how to hold on to it. Well, I'll talk about how to hold on to it next week. But what about energy? Well, first of all, how can we save energy by insulation? Now, here is a rough pointer. It is rough, isn't it? Yeah, because it's insulated. Now, tell me, what is wrong with the insulation of this house here? Well, for a start, it's got a bloody great hole in the wall. Now, I've had my house properly insulated. There is a model of it, as you see. I'm going to live in that in comfort, just as soon as I can find the door. But I'm not here to air my personal grievances. No, they're all very nicely wrapped up, thank you. But insulation does make sense. You can cut down your overall heat loss by double glazing your overalls. And, of course, you must always lag your pipes. There you are. Now, here's a neat idea from the London Zoo. Here we are. That's a feather boa constrictor. You see? It's lovely. So always wrap up well and always constrict your boas. Trained by Rod Hull, don't worry about it. So to sum up, get with the trend and don't lag behind. And here is a lag behind. We've also come up with a little thing that you can insert in your wall cavity. We calculate it can save you £34 a year. How does it work? Well, simply drill a hole, insert the apparatus, and you can watch your neighbour's television through the wall. Now, where is our energy going to come from? Well, I'm wearing a sun-powered hearing aid. Ah, but what happens when the sun goes in? I don't hear you ask. Now, what can we get from atomic piles, apart from agony in the morning? Well, the Japanese have come up with this new miniaturized atomic reactor and fish fryer. Over here, there you are, you see? Look at that. Nuclear fish and chips. What's more, you can use it as a trouser press. Unfortunately, this morning, I got the reactor mixed up with the trouser press, so I pressed my atom and split my trousers. Luckily, I had a lag behind. You see, it all makes sense. Now, what about transport? Well, here is the revolutionary new log-burning Lamborghini. On a test run this morning, burning old ship's timbers, it did 83 miles to the galleon. And look at this, executive unicycle. The makers claim it runs for 3 hours on a Cenopod. But then, who doesn't? And I now run my car on pure alcohol. 4 gins will get it to Paris. Only one more than my secretary, Miss Zuma. But I must say, she did run out of fizz in Dieppe. And what about railways? Now, did you know that if all British rail tracks were laid end to end, it would help a lot? Well, our Boffids have come up with a winner. They have discovered that the energy generated in one night by a young honeymoon couple is enough to drive a British rail train from St Pancras to Kettering, with a 20-minute rest at Luton. And for the over 50s, there's the Festiniog narrow gauge railway, especially on the downhill run. Well, there you have it, on the downhill run. From now on, all honeymoons will be spent in transports of delight. So, ladies, if I've got the time and you've got the inclination, we'll all have the energy. Good night.
Didn't old Charlie go down to doctor's with his ears?
That's right, yeah.
Daft, wasn't he?
Eh?
Daft.
Yeah.
Did the doctor improve his hearing then?
Must have done. He just heard from his brother in America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first guest, Barbara Dixon.
Cup, please.
Cup or mug?
Mug, please.
Pint or half pint?
Half pint, please.
Tea or coffee?
Tea, please.
China or Indian?
Indian, please.
Black or white?
White, please.
Milk or cream?
Milk, please.
Goats or cows?
Cow, please.
Friesian or Jersey?
Jersey.
Devon or Hereford?
Devon.
Oakhampton or Tavistock?
Tavistock.
Cornways Farm or Hill Barn Farm?
Hill Barn Farm.
Daisy or Buttercup?
You what?
The cow's name, Daisy or Buttercup?
Daisy or Buttercup? Stuff it.
Sage and onion or chestnut?
The year is 2012. England, traditionally a land of heroes and great statesmen, is in the grip of a new regime. The country is being run by women. They are the breadwinners, the rulers, and their state police strike terror into the hearts of the subjugated male. In short, the roles have been completely reversed. It is the man, not the woman, who now wears the frock. Even their names are feminine. But one poor downtrodden worm is about to turn. This man. Janet Cartwright. Employed as a tea boy at police headquarters, Janet has one friend he can trust, Betty Chalmers. Our story starts one afternoon over a cup of tea.
I think the secret police have heard about my collection of chauvinistic films. I'm sure the house is going to be searched any moment.
We'll have to get rid of them.
I can't, you see, not before Thursday. You know, I'm having the private show in the auction rooms. It'll be the last because it's just getting too risky. Did you know that you can get 3 months hard labour for showing a Humphrey Bogart?
Next day in the hairdressers, Janet and Betty are surprised by a raid from the secret police.
A customer by the name of Ursula Debenham. Tall, balding, with a beard.
No, I don't think so.
He's wanted for petty crimes against the state. Stand up. Name?
Phyllis Willis.
Is that a joke?
My father thought so. Just because he had a silly name, he gave me one.
Your father?
Dillis Willis.
Papers. You recently shaved a beard off this man.
No, ma'am.
Carry on. If any of you see or hear of this man, it's your duty to report him.
What was his crime?
Playing illicit rugby and pipe smoking.
Hello, Shirley, old boy. How are you? It's me. I'm just ringing up to say sewing circle evening Thursday. All right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, it is. Good drying weather, though. Mine was on the line 10 o'clock this morning. Oh, have you? No, I haven't got a rich wife to buy me a dryer. No, I didn't mean it. Yes. All right, then. See you Thursday. Yes. Bye.
Yes, Thursday. Yes, usual place, auctioneers. Yeah, fine. How's George? Is she? Amazing woman. She's still playing left half for Brentford. Give her a big kiss on the goal mouth for me, will you? Bye.
Evening, chaps. Evening. Just a word before we start. I'm afraid this is going to be the last film shown for a while. Oh. I know it is a show. I know, but I can't help it. I'm afraid I've got to go undercover. There's been a little dicky bird has told me there's been a bit of a leak, and I might get raided. I know, so here we are. However, tonight, so make the most of it. That's what I'm really trying to say. And sit back and enjoy yourself, because tonight we're going to have a John Wayne film.
Who are you?
State police.
You taking me in?
Yes.
What, to the castle?
Yes.
It's a rather long journey. Do you think I might go to the toilet?
All right.
Well, can I take my hands down?
If you must.
Well, it's essential. Very difficult otherwise. Look, would you please turn around and face the other way?
No.
Oh. Well, in that case, I will. I'm ready.
Then move.
You shot me in the behind.
Shot up in the what? In the where? Well, I should think she would faint. I'll go and have a look. You say fainted, old chap. She's dead.
Dead? She was only shot in the backside. You can't die of a shot in the backside.
She didn't die of a shot in the backside. She died of a head down the toilet. Oh, yes. Look after both of us, Betty, old chap.
They certainly are, Janet, old boy. The thing is, what are we going to do with the body? What will happen now? Are Janet and Betty doomed? Can the toilet keep its grisly secret? Or will the police flush it out? Don't miss next week's enthralling episode of The Worm That Turned. Evening.
Morning. New face, eh?
No, I've always had this face.
Have you been around here long?
No, I just come in the door.
What's the name?
It's called the front door.
No, I mean yours.
Oh, my name's Michael.
Oh, Michael, there's the coincidence.
Why?
Mine's James.
Oh. The only James I know is tall and thin with a ginger beard. Would that be you?
Yes, that'd be right, yes. Apart from the glasses, that is.
But you're not wearing glasses?
No, neither does he.
Oh.
Bottoms up.
Is it?
Bloke of the same name as you came in here earlier on this morning.
Oh, what was his name?
He never said.
Then how did you know it was him?
Well, I asked him, didn't
I? What is that there?
That's a parrot.
Whose is that?
Lord knows.
Well, who left it there?
Lord knows.
Well, it must be his then. Lord knows.
You fancy a brown ale?
What colour is it?
Don't know, we don't stock it.
Oh, I won't have it then. I'll tell you what I will have. I will have a gin without.
Without what would that be?
Well, what haven't you got?
Now, we haven't got lime.
Oh, what about tonic?
Oh, tonics we got tonics.
Oh, dear, that's what I wanted it without.
Can be a very frightening noise, that, you know, we don't know what it is.
What is it?
I don't know.
The parrot never budged.
No, it's stuffed.
Oh, who stuffed it?
Lord knows.
Oh. Member of the local gentry, is he?
Yes, that would be it, yes. The plumber never came this morning.
Oh, dear. Did he come this afternoon?
No. That's twice he's never been.
Oh. I am a poacher, you know.
I never asked you what you did.
Well, ask me then.
Are you a poacher?
It's none of your business.
Rabbits, is it?
No, clocks.
Oh, clocks.
I tell you what, if you can guess how many clocks I got in this bag, you can have them both.
3.
Correct. Now, look at this here clock there. See that?
Yes.
That is unique.
Have you got another one like it?
Yes. There we are.
Are they identical?
Well, that one is.
Yes, I must say that this one here is not nearly as identical as that one.
That is definitely the most identical of the two, that one.
Yes, right. Do
you want to buy one?
How much?
30 quid.
I'll give you 35.
Do me a favour.
All right, I'll give you 20.
Done.
Have you got change of a £4 note?
Oh, yes.
There we are then.
That's yours.
Thank you very much. There we are. Have you got the time?
Yeah, what time would you like?
3:30.
No, you'll have to ask me a bit later on.
When?
About 4 o'clock.
Far too late.
No, well, in that case, I must be off now.
Yes, are you coming back?
Oh, yes, I shall come back.
Where?
I'll come back here.
Well, you're here now.
That's true. Why don't I wait till I get back, self myself a journey? That's what I'll do. The parrot doesn't say much.
No, he's still stuffed.
Oh, is he? Why was he stuffed in the first place?
He's stuffed in every place. The wife's away for a few days, you know. They give her a new wooden leg. In Cork it was.
Oh, well, at least she'll float.
She's expecting a baby.
Oh, when's that?
Whenever I can get round to it, you know.
You expecting anyone else?
No, just the baby.
No, I mean, are you expecting anyone else in the pub here?
Oh, Lord knows.
Oh, when he gets here, give him a ring, will you?
Who?
Me.
Oh, yes.
Give me a ring.
Yes, where will you be?
I'll be here.
Oh, yes. Well, what's your number?
Well, it'll be the same number as yours.
Well, we're not on the blower, are we?
Oh, well, in that case, I will reverse the charges.
All right.
Make the post office look silly, if that were needed. Who's he?
Lord knows.
Oh, thank God you've turned up. Your bloody parrot's still here.
You know we live in the same sort of house?
Yeah?
Same road, same shape, same size rooms?
Yeah?
Well, you know when you papered your front room, you told me you bought 8 rolls of wallpaper?
That's right, yeah.
Well, I just papered our front room.
Oh, yeah?
I bought 8 rolls of wallpaper. When I finished, I had 2 over.
That's funny. So did I. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, particularly over there on the right. Very good. Now, altogether or not at all. Now, now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking,
What on earth is that stupid thing doing there? And why is he wearing a false nose? No, it is pathetic, isn't it? I mean, you know, a comedian of my caliber, you know, small bore. Having to resort to cheap visual gimmicks. Actually, to be absolutely honest, it was the producer's idea. He put it on, he said. You'll start the spot with a big laugh, he said. I said, I'm sorry, I said, but our studio audience are intelligent, witty, and highly sophisticated people. Underneath. And they are far too mature just to laugh at a silly nose. So... I see. Thank you very much. Just for that, I shall tell you a joke. Now, there we are. Now, this joke comes from our producer. And if it doesn't seem all that funny, we must make allowances, because at the time he told me he'd just been involved in a very, very nasty accident. He'd bought a round of drinks. I think it all stems from his rather proper upbringing in Cheltenham, where he worked for 5 years as a gentleman's gentleman, a lavatory attendant. Until one day he got demoted and became a producer with light entertainment. Anyway, he beckoned me over with his handbag, and he winked at me with his good eye. He said, "Ronald, sweetie pie." He said. I said, "Yes, sugar heart." I'm not sure what he's got, but I'm convinced it's catching. I said, "Yes, sugar heart." He said, "Ronald Honey Bunch, which old joke will you be finally laying to rest tonight?" I said, "Well, I've thought it over," I said, "and I'm going to do the one about the chap who goes to the psychiatrist because he's been feeling a little bit strange, and the psychiatrist shows him one of those ink-blocked tests, you know." And he said, the psychiatrist said, "Now, what do you think of when you look at this?" And the chap examined it very carefully, and he said, "Sex." And the psychiatrist showed him another ink-blocked, you know, and he said, "What do you think when you look at this one?" And the fellow replied again. He said, "Sex." Well, 10 more ink blots are shown to him, and every time he gives the same answer. "Sex," he said. Finally, it's rather exciting, actually. Finally, the psychiatrist slaps the book shut and he said, "My good man, it is my considered diagnosis that yours is an acute case of chronic rumpomania. In short, you are completely and totally obsessed with sex." And the chap said, "I'm obsessed with sex. Who's been showing me all the dirty pictures?" The producer, unfortunately, fell asleep before I finished, so I never found out, to be honest, whether he liked it. So instead, I am going to tell another much funnier joke, which I happened to hear last week at the funeral of my old Uncle Cyrus, bless him. No, I mean, we ought not. I mean, you didn't, but we ought not to anyway. No, we ought not to laugh. You didn't, but we ought not to anyway. He said, his death came... No, please. His death came as no great surprise to us, to be honest, because he was 94 years old, you know, and he just got married to a young girl of 18. And because he said he wanted to carry on the family strain, and of course it was too much for him, really. They were married on Saturday, and we buried him the following Tuesday. We would have buried him on the Sunday, but it took us 2 days to wipe the smile off his face. This story concerns a chap who's just about to go home from the pub one night, not looking forward to it, wondering, you know, to himself, how hard will the wife hit me on the head with the rolling pin, and will I have to take my cap off again with a bottle opener? When a man from a nearby group of revellers comes over to him and he proposes a rather unusual bet. He said, "Now look," he said, "you're a sporting gent, you look a sporting gent, I'll bet you £100 that you can't do 3 things nominated by myself and my friends here." Well, at the words £100, the chap immediately pricks up his ears. He said, "What 3 things would these be, pray?" he said, see? The other man said, "I'll bet you can't drink 10 pints of beer, wrestle a gorilla, and make love to an Eskimo." Well, this being the sort of challenge you don't meet every day, the chap takes the bet on there and then and immediately consumes 10 pints of the best pub ale. You know, a crowd are all obviously impressed, shout, "Well done," they shout, "Bravo." Pick him up. And then off they go to the local zoo where the chap gets in the cage with this grisly-looking gorilla. Before you know what's happened, they're locked together, punches flying, fur all over the place. Finally, the chap comes out, looking battered and bruised, still clearly in one piece, dusts himself down proudly, says, "Right, now let's go and wrestle the Eskimo."
It's springtime on the Somerset Hills, we're galloping over the course. Hooray, hooray for meadows in May, up on the stride and we're well away. Give us a filly that won't say nay. I hope I can stay the course. a-hunting we will go. Show us a place for a rollicking chase, and a-hunting we will go.
I am the master of the hound.
And I'm his pedigree chop. We shoot, we fish, we paddle, we punt. And I'm the pride of the Chumley Hunt.
And he's wearing his jumpers back to front, and his crumples are slightly numb.
A-hunting we will go. Second to port is my favourite sport. A-hunting we will go.
Come, landlord, bring me flagons of wine.
And I'll have a shandy as well.
A single tot of his bubbling brew makes hunters trot, and they're jogging on two.
Well, put away 3 and it skipped to me loo and down to the Dingley Dell.
A-hunting we will go.
We'll never say no to a big daddy ho.
A-hunting we will go.
I am the jovial landlord here.
And I'm his youngest daughter.
My homemade beer is light and clear.
It's largely wind and water.
From here and far they crowd my bar to see the naughty Nancy.
She'll give you pale and export ale on anything you fancy. The steeple fund was short of cash until the Duke suggested the hunt could raise the steeplechase, the bets could be invested. Old Lady B lost 50p and 10 to 1 the vicar. She gave a cough and cried, "They're off," and down went half a knicker.
Boys, lift your cup and bottoms up on Dobbin, Blaze and Thumper. There's Lady May on Dapple Grey. I see she's getting plumper. But if you want a point to point, the trifly owner's jumper.
Lady Daphne's terribly quaint. Title cheers, Lady Shade, mixing her face with putty and paint whenever we ride to hound.
Lady Sarah Basil and Pitts got us in fits, taking the hits, ripping her jumpers, doing the splits whenever we ride to hound.
Ever so posh and cantering with the band on. Scuppers are washed with sherry and Noe Shandon. Side by side on lager and lime, jogging along, passing our prime, but game for a tumble any old time.
Side by side on bangers and mash, high as a kite, low as the cat. Show us a jump and we'll have a bash whenever we ride to hound.
I'm the note for my profile.
Yes, dear, it's quite plain.
I think I'll have a facelift.
When they find the train, don't let them mess around. Yeah, when they tighten up your skin, if they take up all the slack, you'll find your nose around the back, and you'll end up sitting pretty on the dimple on your chin. We're nicely dressed for riding, we look a proper top.
I've got a hacking jacket.
I've got a hacking cock. We've all the right equipment that's suitable for sports.
I've got my riding breeches.
And I've got my jockey shorts.
Sir Arthur had a chestnut. He rode it every day. It chucked him in the spinney. It tossed him in the hay. It dumped him in the duck pond. It downed him in the lane. It kicked him in the fetlocks. Now we call him Lady Jane.
Vanessa's got a saddle shop. Her tackle's rather nice. She's got some lovely habits with discount on the price. A rein is half a sovereign. A stirrup's 50p. But ask her for a bridle and you'll get them in for free. You're steady ho, we're ready to go, so to your hunting horn.
You're out of luck, it's covered in muck and the jolly old pea is gone. I fell off my horse today, me tootle I hit the grass. I upped and tripped and staggered and slipped and fell on me hunting brass. I'm in tubs and liniment rubs, I'm painfully upper class.
Well, that's all we seem to have time for tonight. But before we go, a few items of late news.
Police are tonight searching for the Fulham supporter who waited for Jimmy Hill after match of the day and threatened to knock the living highlights out of him.
In Wembley today, a staggering, bleary-eyed man was reported to be shouting obscenities at a bus conductor and refusing to pay his fare. Police are holding 45,000 Scotsmen for questioning.
Tonight saw the opening in the West End of Paul Raymond's new full-frontal Agatha Christie thriller. First nighters, when asked who did it, replied, everybody.
Finally, Harry Ackroyd, self-styled steak and kidney pudding king, was buried today, along with his secret recipe. Relatives said that if the ingredients are ever revealed, he'll turn in his gravy.
Next week, we'll be showing you a new and reliable method for contacting the dead. Just dial 100 and wait.
be talking to radio personalities who've taken up self-defense. There'll be a disc jockey who's a green belt in jiu-jitsu, a newsreader who's a black belt in judo, and an actor who's a fifth Dan in the Archers.
And we hope we'll be meeting Betty Buxom, the Soho good time girl who recently bought herself a speedboat. She'll be telling us what it's like to sell yourself right down the river.
Until then, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night, Captain.